revolution! We need a revolution!
Angry and frustrated, youth climate activists from around the world descended on Glasgow to vent their irritation at world and business leaders. Marching among them was Greta Thunberg, the Swedish teenager who's inspired so many other young people to join her climate fight. Taking to the stage, she made it clear she had little faith in the COP26 summit.
This is no longer a climate conference. This is now a global North greenwash festival. A 2-week-long celebration of business as usual and blah, blah, blah.
Many of the protesters say governments are not acting with the urgency needed to reverse climate change, but Greta has an assessment that's even more harsh.
The leaders are not doing nothing. They are actively creating loopholes and shaping frameworks to benefit themselves and to continue profiting from this destructive system.
Protesters from Africa and South America relayed stories about their lives on the front line of climate change, but they were quick to point out the emissions causing the destruction are being created in countries outside their own.
We emit very little CO2. Very little CO2 emissions, but we are suffering some of the worst impacts. People are dying from floods, disasters like droughts that are drying up people's crops, people's food.
Many of those taking part in the march say the deals penned so far at the conference are inadequate, and they are sceptical leaders will achieve anything more meaningful in the next week.
I don't think they actually care. I don't think it affects them enough for them to care. This is the most universally devastating problem in the world, and it's our lives and our futures that are on the line.
Many of these protesters have been turning out to similar marches for years, but they say their call to action has widely been ignored, something that both frustrates and scares them as the impacts of climate change threaten their futures. Sarah Morice, TRT World.